Hello and welcome to another video of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which better be the last video of Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. We already had to put that slide video up because this one took too long to record. So, last time we read the chronicles for what we did so far and Dream Meter stuff, which was enough for its own video. So now we're finishing off the reports section. Start with the story! We skimmed through a few of these before to see how long they would be, so... I guess I'll start off. Or how do you want to do these? You want to do like I do the Soras, you do the Rikus, or?
Sure.
Okay, that's fine with me then. Sora would require great power to rescue the individuals King Mickey mentioned in his letter and wake them from their sleep. So he agreed to take the Mark of Mastery examination. He and Riku returned to the Destiny Island shortly for their fall to darkness. After their raft was wrecked by handsome Ursula, they unknowingly unlocked their first sleeping key. Does the sound effects count for that one? It's not keyblade, it's keyhole.
No, I just said keyhole normally when doing
keyhole.
it, so... Yeah.
Sora was separated from Riku and wound up in his first sleeping world, Reverse Town, where he met a boy named Neku. While helping Neku look for his game, Sora was confronted by a figure in a black coat. Before he could find out who the stranger was, however, he was seized by an overwhelming urge to sleep.
Yeah, me
Sora,
too.
When Sora opened his eyes, he knew that Neku nor the fighter in the black coat were anywhere to be seen. Instead of Neku, he found a girl named Rhyme. Rhyme had lost her memory, but Sora suspected that she might be Neku's lost partner. Together, they continued the search for Neku. We barely had anything to do with Kingdom Hearts so far, but okay. No sooner had Neku explained that Rhyme wasn't his partner, the girl vanished. Then the figure in the black coat appeared, just long enough to summon a powerful nightmare. Sora defeated the nightmare, and suddenly a strange projection appeared out of thin air. I'm glad that even the game doesn't know what's going on. And Sora saw Riku, a boy named Joshua, that appeared for Sora, along with Rhyme. Joshua explained that Sora was looking at another version, or imagining, of Traverse Town, that there was no way for him to get there. Even the journal just gave up, and I love it. Neku, Shiki beat and Rhyme vanished into the projection. This dual Traverse Town, Joshua explained, had appeared because it was needed. Neku and his friends were about to be wiped from existence, but in this world, the pieces of their dreams and their connections they had formed had kept them in the game. Literally! Who are you? Sora and Riku asked Joshua, as has everyone that's ever played The World Ends With You. Let's say a friend, as all the mysterious boy would say if we're flying off into the night sky. Wait, here's your version.
Having welcomed darkness into his heart, was he still worthy of the Keyblade? Sorry. Go on.
It's okay. I have a bind Disney button as a death counter, so I'm just gonna have to mark it up and then down again.
It's fine. Riku decided to take the Mark of Mastery examination and find out. He and Sora returned to the Destiny Islands shortly before their fall to darkness. After their raft was wrecked by a phantom Ursula, they unknowingly unlocked the first sleeping keyhole. Separated from Sora, Riku found himself in his first sleeping world, which just so happens to be the same as Sora's. Traverse Town, where he met Joshua. Hey, that's me! The boy's tone suggested he knew more about this world than most, which makes no sense, but I'm not gonna fret on that.
Sure.
Riku agreed to help Joshua. No, nothing makes sense. Riku agreed to help Joshua find a girl named Rhyme, but another boy, Beat, came along and picked a fight with Joshua because he's a knucklehead. No sooner had Riku defeated Beat's spirit than he found himself growing very sleepy, ellipses. After waking up, he rescued a girl named Shiki from a pack of nightmares and found himself stuck with her. Next, he encountered a figure in a black coat who insinuated that Riku did not belong there. Ellipses. Beat arrived, and the stranger lowered his hood to reveal a gray-haired youth Riku had never seen before. The youth summoned a giant nightmare and vanished. Riku vanquished the nightmare, and suddenly a strange projection appeared out of thin air. In it, Riku saw Sora. Neku, Shiki, Beat, and Rhyme vanished into the projection. This dual traverse town, Joshua explained, had appeared because it was needed. Neku and his friends were about to be wiped from existence, but in this world, the pieces of their dreams and the connections they formed had kept them in the game. Literally. Who are you? Sora and Riku asked Joshua. I don't know. Let's say Ellipses, a friend, was all the mysterious boy would say before flying off into the night sky with his now grown wings, because of course.
Because it's Josh. Again, anyone that's played the World Ends with You is not even going to be remotely surprised by that. Like, literally anything's possible for this kid.
I remember when I first played this game and I saw that and I was like, question mark? Because I didn't play
I was at the same. I mean, to be fair, I think the overwhelming majority of people that played Golden Steve probably played Dream Drop first. It's just the more popular franchise, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Truly isn't even a franchise, technically. It's just the same game getting re-released over and over again.
It's a franchise of its own game.
Basically. I mean, there's the anime coming late. I don't know if it's later this year or next year, but that's like the closest thing to something branching out that it's ever gotten.
The quote-unquote anime.
It is an anime, just from what I can tell. Okay, anyway. You're right. Acidity Croches. While investigating an outbreak of monsters in the square, Sora met Quasimodo. Nightmares had Quasimodo surrounded. But he was enjoying being the king of fools and was reluctant to leave. A gypsy named Esmeralda helped him get to safety in the cathedral. Inside Notre Dame, Quasimodo returned the favor and helped Esmeralda escape the soldiers surrounding the cathedral by carrying her safely to the streets below. Sora learned that Judge Frollo had forbidden Quasimodo from ever leaving the cathedral, and grew concerned. He decided to seek out Quasimodo and talk to him about his predicament. While searching for Quasimodo, Sora ran into Captain Phoebus. Phoebus was beginning to harbor doubts about Frollo's methods, just now, and had come to warn Esmeralda about the other gypsies that were in danger. Upon hearing this, Quasimodo produced a pendant he had received from Esmeralda. The pendant would reveal the location of the gypsy safe haven, known as the Court of Miracles.
Turns out Quasimodo was the true gypsy. He made it appear to thin air.
Seriously. They found Esmeralda in the Court of Miracles. But Judge Frollo appeared, arrested Esmeralda, and knocked Sora out cold. You know, to be fair, I don't even think Xehanort can claim that. So, credit where it's due. Sora awoke to find the city ablaze. Esmeralda had been sentenced to burn, but Quasimodo rescued her, while Sora confronted a giant nightmare. By the time the nightmare fell...
Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. But by the time the nightmare fell, Quasimodo had already settled matters with Judge Frollo. He had learned not to let his thought be a prison, and was ready to brave the outside world. Alone, Sora found himself face to face with the gray-haired youth. The young man stayed only long enough to say, "You are the one who has made your heart a prison, even if you are not the prisoner." Confused by these words, Sora unlocked the next sleeping keyhole.
It's okay, I'd be confused if I heard that too. I'm
Anybody
already
should be
confused and I
confused.
did it.
Alright, Le City de Cloches, from Riku perspective. Riku cross paths with... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, like,
Riku...
Don't do that
What?
to yourself. You still got a bunch of worlds to go through.
Riku crossed paths with Esmeralda, a gypsy who was being chased by Judge Frollo and Captain Phoebus. It is Phoebus, right?
Yeah.
Phoebus? It's Phoebus, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure
She
it's
told
Phoebus.
Riku about the darkness that was driving Frollo. Inside the Cathedral of Notre Dame, Riku met Quasimodo. Judge Frollo was keeping Quasimodo walled up inside the cathedral, but Riku knew that the highest walls for Quasimodo and for himself were around their hearts. What does that even mean? As
I don't know.
Riku searched for Frollo, he was attacked by a giant nightmare. Somehow, he escaped and caught up with Frollo. Yeah, I don't think it's a very somehow game. He's
No.
Riku, who seemed to be the one controlling the nightmares. He also found Phoebus, who was badly injured while trying to stop the judge. The chase continued. Riku passed Quasimodo, who had just rescued Esmeralda. Riku was reassured to see how much stronger Quasimodo's heart had grown.
Yeah, nice catch. I was actually gonna let you slide on that one. I didn't even catch it either.
Frollo's heart, however, fell to darkness.
Oh, you're getting way more Kingdom Hearts terminology in this one. I barely had any on the Sora version.
It's Riku. What do you expect?
I mean, Sora should still have some.
Yeah, you'd expect Sora to have a lot of heart-related stuff and Riku to be the darkness guy, but
yeah, but no,
I guess
it looks like Riku got all of it.
Yeah. Ansem and the gray-haired youth appeared at a moment later to remind Riku of the darkness in his own heart. But Riku knew he was strong enough to choose his own path, and with
Keyblade
in hand, he drove off the giant nightmare. Quasimodo resolved to brave the outside world, while Riku reflected upon his past and the future he must shape from it. He unlocked the sleeping keyhole.
Yeah, I forgot that these are in a weird order. For some reason, they consider the grid to be after whatever. We'll just do it as is. Sora bumped into Jiminy at an amusement park after dark. Jiminy said Pinocchio had gone missing somewhere in the park. The boys who played and goofed off there for too long got turned to donkeys. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's true, it's terrifying. It's actually one of the most horrifying things in cinematic history. It's scary.
I've seen the scene, I know. So Sora agreed to help Jiminy find Pinocchio before that could happen. To be fair, that's still considerably more lighthearted than the book was based on ever was.
Oh, I know, but it's still terrifying.
Oh, okay. By the time they'd rescued Pinocchio from some nightmares, he had sprouted donkey ears and a tail. Jiminy and Pinocchio escape while Sora faced off against more nightmares. After eliminating the threat, Sora came face to face with the gray-haired youth in Xemnas, who accused Sora of being the same as the Nobodies.
Actually, it's Xemnos.
What? After eliminating the threat, Sora came face to face with the gray-haired youth in Xemnos. There. Not reading that whole part again. The blue fairy had found Sora and told him that Pinocchio and Jiminy had gone to the bottom of the sea to rescue Geppetto, who had been swallowed by Monster the Whale. In the original book, that whale killed him.
Yep.
Sora got there just time to witness Pinocchio and Jiminy getting gobbled up too. Then a giant nightmare appeared and froze Monster solid. But is that what happened? I just assumed that it was just frozen a block of ice anyway.
Yeah, same.
I just assumed that Geppetto was an idiot and he walked straight into a frozen whale's mouth. So he defeated the nightmare and having freed of the ice, Monster let out a mighty sneeze. Remember that this world is soon be solved by darkness. Sora unlocked Sleeping Keyhole. Oh, hit the L2 by accident.
Can you re-screen share? It like died.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I just wanted you to finish your thingy first.
That is absolutely fine. Good now?
Thank you. Yes. Prankster's Paradise, also known as Inside the Belly of the Beast.
Yes.
Well,
That's apparently frozen.
Yeah, it's almost the entire first sentence. That was an accident. Inside the belly of Monstro the Whale, Riku found Geppetto and Jiminy. He agreed to help them find Pinocchio, who had gone missing again. Surprise, surprise. Jiminy tagged along. They found Pinocchio with a figure in a black coat. Who was it this time? The figure lowered his hood to reveal ellipses Riku. The figure disappeared before Riku made sense of it all. But which Riku are they talking about?
Who knows? There's like 6 of them.
He explained to Jiminy how he once allowed darkness into his heart. But Jiminy and Pinocchio reminded him that friends like Sora would always keep him on the right path. And they also reminded him what he said made absolutely no sense.
Welcome to this franchise. Enjoy your stay.
He had the others return to safety and headed further into Monstra, where he found and defeated a giant nightmare. Something was troubling him, though. Why did this world seem to have been thrown into the past? Could it still be trapped in some kind of dream? He unlocked the sleeping keyhole. Well, at least they made his short, because his level is very short comparatively.
Alright, time for the grid. Sora was excited to be back in a familiar world, sort of. That excitement was cut short when the Black Guards tried to arrest him. That was so
That's
unfriendly! Sora escaped, but was ambushed by Rinsler, who mysteriously vanished without a fight. Flynn, Sam, and Cora watched all this unfold. Intrigued, Cora approached Sora. As it turned out, Rinsler was really Sora's friend Tron, whose memory had been manipulated. Sora wanted to set Tron's memory straight, so Cora agreed to take him to Clue, who might still possess Tron's original source code. Yeah, this makes just as much sense as it did in the original level, so I'm glad to see they're keeping it up. I have no idea how it lines up with the movie. I haven't seen either of the Tron films.
It's been way too long since I've seen Legacy, which is what this world is based off of.
Yeah. While searching for the source code on the throne ship, Sora and Cora were attacked by Rinsler. Cora was overwhelmed, but before Sora could intervene, the throne ship hatch closed and she was left behind. The gray-haired youth appeared along with Zemnos, who possessed a difficult question. How could Sora be sure his memories and feelings were his to begin with? And his answer was, I don't know. But I've seen this question show up in so many games that, even games that have no right to bring it up, and they never answer it. Like Sonic Adventure 2 used this question.
Final Fantasy 13 used this question.
You can't answer it. It's literally impossible. And the gray-haired youth implied that this dream world was not a dream at all. Both vanished after saying their piece.
What the?
No, if this isn't a dream world, then there is many, many, many implications involved. By no small part of the fact that there's still nightmares and dream eaters around.
Yeah, say that to Kingdom Hearts 3. Say
Say
that to Unchained Key.
I'm sure Melody of Memory probably screwed it a bit too. I haven't seen any of the cutscenes for that game yet. I know it's out now, but...
Damn. I should probably look at the cutscenes, to be honest. I'm not going to get it for a while.
I mean, I'm kind of considering getting just because it's already on sale.
True.
It was on sale before it even came out. That's... I know the game came out at a horrible time, but still. Okay. Sora was taken to the stadium where he came face to face with Clue and Rinsler. Clue offered to restore Tron's memory in exchange for the
Keyblade!
But Sora had to refuse, leading to a battle with Rinsler. I mean, why did he refuse? He could have just given him the Keyblade and then immediately gotten it back. Isn't that what he did with Jack? Back in Pirates of the Caribbean. Freaking Marcel.
Yeah, but then he would have passed it down to him, okay?
It didn't work with Jack!
Oh no, it did. It's just they forgot that little information. Trust me.
I hate the stupid friendships. Sora did not want to fight his friend, but when Cora arrived, safe and sound, and told him to use the
Keyblade!
he realized he might still be able to bring Tron to his senses. With Rinsler's
Yeah, it's called
defeat,
beating him senseless.
Sora became distracted. Seeing his chance, Clue hurled his disc. But Rinsler pushed Sora out of harm's way, right in the nick of time. The disc caused Rinsler's footing to derez, and while he tried to grab Sora's hand, he plunged into the abyss, and we never see him again.
Yeah, he died.
Mm-hmm. Realizing some part of his friend inside Rinsler's had reached for his hand, Sora struck upon an answer to Zemnos' question. We know we are real because our hearts put us back to the truth. He unlocked the sleeping keyhole. That is not an answer to the question. That is an entirely irrelevant answer. But
Look,
it's like when
it's
you're answering a
Kingdom
math question and then Instead of math, you end up answering it with history. It's like, the fall of the Roman Empire. That's the answer to 2 plus 2.
Wait, is it not?
The grid. Upon arrival, Riku found himself in a spotlight, or rather, searchlights. Realizing he may have more nemesis to deal with than just the nightmares. That's not how the word nemesis works.
It's Nemesis.
Nemesis? Nemesis? Either way, it's incorrect. He decided to let himself be caught to find out more. In the process, he met Sam. Hi, Sam. Sam, I
Hi,
am.
Sam.
Green eggs and ham. But they were soon separated, and Riku was forced onto a light cycle battle.
Oh, I didn't catch that when the cycle threw me off. Good catch.
He seized the chance to escape and reunited with Sam. Sam needed to get out of this world. And when he mentioned a portal, Riku decided to go along. Because Riku actually knows what he's doing in this game.
Sometimes.
They split up
Mostly.
briefly, so Sam... Yeah, sometimes, you're right. They split up briefly so Sam could investigate a lead, but something went wrong. And when he returned with company, Korra, who had malfunctioned... now I'm just imagining that lifeless cutscene of her. Ugh. And
All I
his
can think of
father,
ever since we started this was the whole, I want to go home, I can't go home.
Yep.
Scene.
Ugh. They all
This
connected
one I
or
do.
continued to the portal. On the solar sailor that would take them there, Flynn repaired. I suddenly am losing my ability to read now. Repaired Korra.
Okay,
She
last
was the
line,
last
there
of
we
the
go.
life form called an ISO. Ooh,
I know they
don't
pronounced
remember.
it ISO, but come on. It's
It's an
ISO.
it's an ISO, not an ISO.
Anyone that's even remotely familiar with gaming emulation is going to pronounce it as ISO.
Or just technology to begin with.
Yeah.
The
Go
emergence
gamers,
of the ISOs had caused CLU to seize control of the grid, trapping Flynn inside so he could never return to home to the real world. Because the real world actually doesn't exist. Suddenly, the solar sailor's course was altered and the group found themselves landing on the Rectifier, CLU's warship. When they disembarked, Rinsler was on patrol. Knowing they would not be able to slip by, Korra intentionally let herself be caught so the others could escape. I feel like I'm just reading a synopsis of the of the movie at this point.
Yeah, like... where's
Featuring
Riku?
Sora or Riku.
Oh.
Riku and Sam saved Korra and recovered Flynn's missing discs. Or disc, not discs. After catching up with Flynn, they all headed for the portal. CLU was waiting. He summoned a giant nightmare and attacked. That doesn't happen in the movie.
mean,
As
I guess
Riku
it
finished
doesn't.
off the nightmare, CLU confronted Flynn. What was wrong with creating the perfect system? But Flynn explained that true perfection was unknowable, a fact that was lost on CLU because Flynn himself had not known at the time of CLU's creation. I mean, it's true. It's impossible to be perfect.
That's Kingdom
CLU
Hearts.
Yeah, exactly. No, Kingdom Hearts is perfect, actually. The only game that's perfect. CLU seized Flynn's disc, but it was the wrong one. He had been tricked! Flynn's disc was in Korra's hands, and now Sam was using it to open the portal! Oh, plot twist!
No.
It was good. It was time to say goodbye to his father for good. He raised the disc aloft, and he and Korra vanished into the light, just as Flynn and CLU fused and ceased to exist. Wait, that's grim.
Words.
Riku reflected on the portal and the gates he himself had used to cross between worlds. Realizing more trials were ahead, he unlocked the sleeping keyhole.
So if you combine everything that happened here with the implication that Zemnos gave on Sora's version, I have a lot of questions. But then again, welcome to Kingdom Hearts.
I was gonna say, you're probably not gonna like any answer you get. That's what you tell me, and you know it's always true. So
It is. It's like, oh, you have questions? Oh, go look into the phone game. You think I'm joking? No, that game has more plot than anything else in this franchise. Bar none.
and
it's all
sucks.
ridiculous.
And it's all terrible, and I hate it.
You know, it was one thing when it was just the past that, and you had foretellers, and then you had everything's a data world, and everything's time travel. But oh wait, no, it's not really time travel because it's data world, but it's not really a data world because it's inside one of the journals. But it's not time travel because it's a data world.
I literally think the only redeemable thing regarding the story in that game is the little movie they paired with this disc is acceptable.
Yeah, the back cover.
Yeah. Oh god, you're gonna have to re-screenshot. Oh, never mind. You won't. You're good. I thought it broke again, but it's fine.
Okay, Traverse Town. Revisited. Back in Traverse Town, Sora bumps into a familiar face. I can't believe they actually had this much stuff to tell for the revisit. That was like 10 minutes, not even.
I know, right?
It's going to take us longer to read this. Joshua told him that Neku had found his partner. They still hadn't made it back to their own world. To get there, they would need help completing a mission. Sora raced to the rescue! He found Neku and Shiki surrounded by nightmares. He convinced them to let him help. But it was no use. Once defeated, the Nightmares' leader simply escaped to the other version of Traverse Town. Oh no! Joshua returned and suggested they work with Riku and their friends in the other Traverse Town to trap the Nightmare and take it down. Sora and his friends were ready when the Nightmare resurfaced in their side of town. But this time it escaped to another world entirely. Somewhere not even Joshua could reach. Well, now you know it has to be somewhere insane. Again, Tui comments, but I'm pretty sure he's probably more powerful than any character in this entire franchise. Especially because he can literally get whatever power he wants on a dime. Are you really going to tell me the Master can do that?
Probably. I mean, he prophesized it.
Discouraged, Neku and Shiki realized that they failed the mission, but Sora cheered them up by offering to take over where they had left off.
Sorry, you can't do that. It's against the rules.
After they all pledged to meet again one day, Sora unlocked the sleeping keyhole. Yeah, tell us all how well that's gone so far. Meanwhile, in another world, Axel was dreaming of his best friend, Roxas, and a promise he had made. Lee woke up and looked at himself in the mirror. He was a real person again. There were only
What
four
the?
others in the Radiant Garden study. Dylan, Alias, Evan,
Evan.
the series, and Hienzo. Lee wondered what had become of Breg and Isa. I hope I'm pronouncing these right. Please don't hold it too hard against me if I'm getting any of them wrong. I'm trying, I swear.
I think it's,
Some of these names
Look,
really
these aren't
stupid.
even. Most of these aren't even names, so don't feel too bad.
Like, come on, that clearly says even.
It does.
Whatever, I've played Persona before. I know how to pronounce names that are clearly written differently. But a thorough search to the castle environs turns up no other returnees. Alias assured him no one was outside the castle, and Yenzo rejected the idea of missing members having reappeared in other worlds. Dylan and Devon remained in unstable condition. Lee realized what he would have to do. Elsewhere, King Mickey and friends could not help but wonder how Sora and Riku were doing with their exam. Just then, a raven flew into the tower. It was carrying Queen Minnie's tiara and a letter from Maleficent. She had kidnapped Minnie, oh no! And if Mickey ever wanted to see her again, he, Donald, and Goofy, I'm glad even now they're keeping the order in check good, would have to return to Disney Castle. King Mickey and the others found themselves face to face with Maleficent and Pete, who had Minnie. Maleficent demanded the data for all worlds. You already have the data for all worlds, so why do you want it? Unable to strike, King Mickey braced himself for the end, but before Maleficent's magic could hit, a blazing chakra knocks it out of the air. In the commotion, Minnie used some magic of her own to free herself from Pete. Having lost the upper hand, Maleficent and Pete made a hasty retreat. King Mickey turned to thank Axel, but the chakra's red-haired owner corrected him. My name is Lee, he said. Got it memorized.
Got it memorized. I'm glad they said it.
Yep. Well, I guess
But I don't.
gave the answer of how they
Unfortunately,
were able to get so much stuff in here. They also crammed the stuff that happened after the chapter.
they explained the things that don't happen in
Yeah.
Traverse Town. Joshua or Traverse Town revisited for Riku. Joshua was waiting when Riku arrived back in Traverse Town. He asked for help defeating a powerful nightmare capable of summoning other nightmares. Riku learned that the two Traverse Towns connected by the portal were not parallel worlds, but rather two distinct worlds that only felt the same. Because, okay. In other words, Riku was in a dream.
Wow.
And that's when he
Dream
should have
drop
realized.
Pistons.
Wait, that's when he should have realized that he was someone's dream eater. This idiot. He met up with Beaten Rhyme and let them defend the area while he raced after the powerful nightmare, but no sooner had he caught it than it escaped to the other Traverse Town. Beaten Rhyme were frustrated, but Riku assured them Sora would be able to handle things on the other side. He didn't. They pledged to meet again one day, and Riku unlocked the sleeping keyhole. Alright, what now give me all the other
Okay, is there any? I'm just gonna skim this. Is there anything here that's different? Because this looks like it's copy pasted. Yeah, I think it's all copy pasted. I'm not gonna make you read through this.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's the exact same.
Alright, fair enough. Whoop, I get off scot-free!
Lucky you. It's side effect of me being the one that reads through first. Much to his surprise, Sora found himself making the acquaintance of Mickey back when he was still in training. In this world, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, again, correct order, thank you, are still getting the hang of being Royal Musketeers.
It is weird not hearing Sora, Donald, and Goofy, though.
Yeah, but I can accept Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, at least. If they don't have Sora, Donald, and Goofy. Like, it's a decent substitute.
As long as they order it correctly, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and they almost always do, so thank you. Although I do get terrified whenever they screw it up.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Remember that time
And,
the world
one
literally
time in
ended?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Their current mission was to keep the princess's carriage safe. Sora offered to help. Along the way, a giant nightmare attacked and the princess was kidnapped by the Beagle Boys. Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Sora dashed to the rescue and saved the princess. Okay, that one I feel a little less comfortable with.
Oh no.
They should have mixed Mickey and Sora, come on.
They should have said Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Mickey.
Yes, that would have been the correct way to phrase it. Also, I'm kind of disappointed they said a giant nightmare and didn't just say it as is. Like, a giant T-Rex just came and attacked it.
Yeah, a giant dinosaur came in and attacked it.
I mean, yeah, that's what happened. That night, however, Donald abandoned his post. Now that he knew their own captain had been after the princess all along, he was just too chicken to keep being Musketeer, no matter what Mickey said. But when Captain Peach showed up and nabbed Mickey, Donald had a change of heart. He, Sora, and Goofy...
Hey!
Oh, you're right, sorry. Donald had a change of heart.
Thank you.
He, Sora, and Goofy set off to rescue their friend and to remind each other what made them true Musketeers. With Mickey rescued, it was time to go after Pete.
Wait, what made them true Musketeers? They didn't elaborate on it.
Something hearts and friendship and darkness.
I'm pretty sure it's just friendship, but why don't they tell us here? I'm trying to relearn about the game and the worlds, and this is not telling me, man.
Mickey and friends confronted their captain, oblivious to the trap they'd walked right into. A huge crate came floating down from above. Sora would never reach them in time. Before our heroes could be squashed, the crate mysteriously vanished. Sora knew it was Riku that had saved them. You know, I really wish we could have seen the version of this where Riku didn't save them. They all just got crushed by a box. That's how the game ended.
The credits just roll.
It's like, Pete wins. Mickey and the others took care of the princess while Sora dealt with Pete. With the villain out of the way, Mickey and the others were finally dubbed real, honest-to-goodness Royal Musketeers. Together, they shouted the famous words, "All for one and one for all." Knowing he would always be connected to Riku, Sora unlocked the sleeping keyhole.
Yay.
And you have a way shorter version than I did, wow. Well, you get off easy again.
To be fair, Riku's The Grid was massive, and that was literally just like a freaking synopsis of the movie.
True.
Yeah, it just depends. I'm not surprised. Some of Riku's worlds were just super tiny.
Yeah,
Again,
I would be
Monster.
terrified of the world never was for you. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. That's also substantially longer for him. Riku spotted Pete, or Country Musketeers, Riku's side. Riku spotted Pete going into a building and decided to tail him. Inside, Pete and the Beagle Boys were, predictably, up to no good, and they started making trouble in the neighborhood. Sensing Mickey, Donald, and Goofy were in danger. Look, I had the opportunity. Riku stayed on the villains' tails. Wait, they don't have tails. Well, I guess they kind of do.
Kind
He
of.
rescued Princess Minnie, who had been locked inside a large box. She was confirmed that Pete was leading Mickey and friends into a trap. Only a special gadget could save them. And right now, it was in the Beagle Boys' clutches. Riku got the gadget back all the same. Almost thought they screwed up that sentence. When Minnie thanked him, she likened him to a musketeer and taught Riku the musketeer's motto: all for one and one for all. Riku rolled his eyes at first. Hey, that's edgy. But then you realize the words spoke volumes for he and Sora's friendship. Remembering their connection, he unlocked the sleeping keyhole.
Yeah, I'm seriously curious what they're going to do for Symphony of Sorcery, because this seems like it should be something that would be over in like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah, seriously. It's fairly short.
Yeah, like, they're about the same length too, so. Sora bumped into Mickey again, this time trapped by the darkness emanating from a musical score. To banish the darkness, Mickey explained that he would need a sound idea. Sora jumped into the musical score to look for this mysterious power. During his search, Sora once again encountered the gray-haired youth. Oh, you still exist. Sleep on, and we will meet again, said the youth, before disappearing without another word. After obtaining a sound idea, Sora used it to try and conduct the music, but a sound idea alone wasn't enough to dispel the darkness. Just then, he and Mickey heard a second strain of music. The two melodies combined into a powerful harmony that drove the darkness away. Sora jumped back into the music one last time, determined to take out the source of the problem. The same nightmare that had escaped from Diverse Town. Once the nightmare was defeated, Mickey was free from the darkness. He and Sora vowed to meet again, and Sora unlocked the sleeping keyhole.
In an alternate reality, you could probably convince me that that was the Memory of Melody plot synopsis.
Honestly, yeah, you probably could. I was thinking that too while I was reading it. Like, this sounds like it could be some weird offshoot of that.
like just change the characters around and bam, you get some weird offshoot of like Melody of Memory. Symphony of Sorcery, Riku side. Riku found his friend Mickey trapped by the darkness emanating from a musical score. To banish the darkness, Mickey explained he would need a sound idea. You get it? Riku agreed to search for this mysterious power and jumped into the musical score, as did Sora. During his search, Riku was confronted by the gray-haired youth who issued a warning: "Your abyss awaits." That explained nothing, and Riku didn't care. So then the stranger disappeared into the shadows. After obtaining a sound idea, Riku used it to try to conduct the music, but his sound idea alone wasn't enough to dispel the darkness. Just then, they heard a second strain of music. The two melodies combined into a memory of melody, a powerful harmony that drove the darkness away. At last, Mickey was free. Riku knew it was Sora who made up the difference, but Sora is dead. Spoiler alert.
Oh, no. You know, one of these games is going to try to pull that. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 already kind of did.
They basically
Kind of.
pulled the he's dead card. Riku promised Mickey they would meet again and unlock the sleeping keyhole. I mean, to be fair, Kingdom Hearts 1 technically pulled the card if you really think about it.
Yeah, it did. Oh boy. Oh, these are both awful.
Ugh. They are literally the exact same, essentially.
Wait, These are the exact same. Is there?
No,
a-
there has to be differences in certain
maybe.
portions.
Okay. Okay, so once these stars show up, it changes. So,
Okay. Okay. It's
okay.
not that far in though.
Okay, I'm just curious to see like how much this is actually the same. Like this all seems like Sora stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still seeing a lot of Sora. And this is on the Riku side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this is to rescue Sora.
Yeah. And I think they're different aside from the beginning.
We'll have to
Fine.
see.
Okay, so. Well, the world that never was. Sora side. Now that Queen Minnie was safe, King Mickey and friends returned to Yen Sid's tower with a guest. Lee seemed to want something from Yen Sid. But the Xehanort's return drawing ever closer, the sorcerer was forced to take drastic measures, so he agreed to Lee's request. King Mickey and the others were now very worried about Sora and Riku, and Yen Sid insisted that the two were still out of Xehanort's reach. After discussing various possibilities, the king stumbled upon the truth. Having given up his body, Xehanort was taking advantage of the period of time when a version of him had possessed Riku. He had been manipulating events all along. He gasped! The king set off to rescue Sora and Riku. After unlocking the 7 sleeping keyholes, Sora found himself in the same world where Organization 13 had once held its stronghold. None of it made any sense. Wait, can you just have that as its own paragraph, please?
Yeah.
Zigbar appeared and revealed that Sora had been lured here, before plunging him into a deep sleep. The gray-haired youth explained that it had all begun when he was approached by a man in a brown robe. Ansem. Later, when the Destiny Islands were about to be swallowed by darkness, that same Ansem possessed Riku. Traverse Town, Sora had been here many times before. He saw King Mickey and the others run by. When Sora had chased after them, he found Naminé around the corner. Except it was not Naminé at all, but some other girl in a black coat. Okay, that sounds like the kind of joke that we would make, not the kind of thing they should actually put in the journal. Tears formed
I
on
know.
Sora's cheeks for reasons he could not understand. Before he could reach the girl, his vision blurred. He spotted someone in a black coat and called out to the figure. But this time it turned out to be Roxas. Roxas took Sora's hand, and all of the hurt he had suffered thanks to Sora's memory.
Ah!
Did somebody say
Sorry.
hurt? Next, Sora saw Riku and Kairi. Except they weren't Riku and Kairi. They were two strangers. They seemed kind, but called him Ben. Sora no longer looks like himself. He reached out to take the stranger's hands, but now they were Riku and Kairi again, and they were leaving him behind. He tried to catch them, but his legs were heavy. He could barely move.
Bro,
Don't worry,
it's a
if you've
fucking-
forgotten, it made no extra amount of sense if you actually saw the cutscene in motion. After a blinding flash, Sora found himself in his own past, when he was still little. Then the vision swooped away, as though he were being dragged out of it. Had those all been illusions? They were dreams, explained Zigbar. He and Zemnos went out to reveal other surprises. That nobodies could have hearts after all, duh, and that the organization had been established for a greater purpose. Though shaken, Sora put his faith in the
Keyblade!
and stood strong. The gray-haired youth pointed to the sigil on Sora's chest, which allowed them to keep tabs on him. Sora, he explained, was destined to be the 13th vessel they needed. And I don't feel comfortable saying that number out loud either, but it's what it says. Sora called Riku's name as he sank into the dark abyss. Oh, right on. A single ray of light chased him down. Down, down. Right before the darkness enveloped him completely. An aura of light appeared and clad him in armor. Thus protected, his body reclined in the darkness. It's his embrace.
And the world that never was, Riku's side.
I won't make you read this part because it's copy pasted.
Okay. After unlocking the 7 sleeping keyholes, Riku arrived in the same world where Organization 13 had once held its stronghold. Riku found a spectral version of Sora trapped inside some sort of bubble. He tried to wake his friend, but a personification of Sora's nightmares, a figure in a black coat, approached from behind. Wait, does this mean they just skipped the entire world until the way end?
Yes, to be fair, there was zero plot before then.
True.
So.
True. He defeated the nightmare and kept calling to Sora, but it was Ansem who responded and dragged Riku into the darkness within darkness for a final confrontation. Ansem, look, I have no other moment I'll probably be able to say that amazingly stupid line. Ansem explained that Riku had unknowingly dove into Sora's dreams and became a Dream Eater, but he would be of no help to his friends so long as he kept the darkness inside him in check. Can I just take a moment here to say this is all Yensid's fault because Yensid transferred these guys into this dream realm stuff. So this is
absolutely
all his fault.
This is entirely on him.
Yeah, exactly. It literally was. He literally. Maybe he's Zemnis. Oh my god, we should check his eyes. Riku agreed, but rather than give in to Ansem and accept the darkness, Riku decided to return to light once and for all.
Excuse me, return to what?
Oh, return to light once and for all. He drew his
Keyblade!
I almost said it. After Ansem was defeated, Riku awoke in the real world, but his Dream Eater powers remained. With the help of some spirits, he was able to reach Sora. Sora was seated on one of the organization's 13 thrones. The gray-haired youth knocked Riku away before he could get to his friend. The youth revealed that Organization 13's true purpose was to transfer the heart of Xehanort into unspeakable number-worthy vessels. Now Sora was about to become the last of those vessels. As if to drive this point home, 12 other figures materialized and filled the other seats. None of them, for some reason, decided to take off their cloak to just reveal who they were because, why not?
Of course, it's more mysterious that way.
Yeah, but given that we know who those characters were, we know some of them would have said something.
Oh, absolutely.
Looking at you, Arxene! The youth revealed his identity. He was Xehanort's boyhood form. Why did they word it like that?
I don't know. That's I agree. It's really odd.
Just as he was gesturing to the highest seat of them all, King Mickey appeared and stopped time because he had Stopga. Or Stopza, I think he used, actually.
Yeah, it was
He tried to rescue Sora, but someone lashed out at the king and knocked him away. Young Xehanort was able to move even when time was stopped. Because of course.
Try to figure that one out.
And he and Riku fought. It was really easy if you saw the last story part in this particular playthrough. No sooner had Riku bested the youth than time started to flow again, and Master Xehanort appeared in the highest seat. He told Riku and King Mickey about the 7 guardians of light and the unspeakable number seekers of darkness, who were destined to clash and forge the
Keyblade!
They were too late. Master Xehanort's heart was snaking its way towards Sora, and Zemnos and Ansem were barring the way. Ellipses. Just then, a blaze of fire stopped Xehanort's heart from reaching Sora. Lee had arrived right in the nick of time. The king and Riku were so shocked. No, literally, they were freaking what the?
Yeah, what happened?
That they nearly forgot they were in danger. But Donald and Goofy arrived in the flash of light to save the day, because Donald and Goofy always save the day!
In that order, yes.
Yes. Look, if they don't appear in every mainline Kingdom Hearts game, I'm gonna cry. Master Xehanort had failed to claim Sora but he assured all present that the clash between light and darkness was imminent. He and the other 12 members of the real Organization 13 dematerialized and returned whence they came.
And that was all
That is-
the number was for sides.
Yep.
Oh, there's the mysterious tower tab
Oh.
too.
This can't be long.
this is-
Oh god damn
Yeah,
it.
this is just Riku, so enjoy.
Okay, so yeah, this is for me. I guess this is for all the little short ones I had. Mysterious Tower. Side, Riku, the only side. King Mickey warned Yen Sid of Master Xehanort's true motives. They needed to wake Sora up, and Yen Sid said that the one who had unlocked the sleeping keyholes possessed that power. And even if that person reached the abyss into which Sora's heart had fallen, they might never return from the darkness. But Riku had heard Sora calling to him and knew he must be the one to make the dive back into Sora's slumber. In the abyss, Riku was attacked by a suit of armor clad in the deepest darkness. He defeated the armor and freed Sora from its defenses then watched helplessly as his friend sank into the darkness. Did he do the right thing? Only Sora's
Keyblade.
remained. Riku took it and unlocked the keyhole. Riku's eyes blinked open. He was home on their island.
Of course.
Figures
of course.
appeared asking difficult questions. Roxas, another boy who looked like Roxas, a girl with raven hair. He sensed his answers mattered. When his eyes next blinked open, he found himself in the company of Ansem the Wise, because of course he did.
Yeah, of course.
Ansem the Wise gave Riku his research data, which he hoped would serve as a clue when Sora or those connected to him were most lost. The love in Sora's heart would be the only way to save them. With that, the true Ansem assured Riku and Sora had awoken, and it was time to go home. Yay, I like going home.
Hey.
Riku woke from his dive to hear that what sounded like a celebration, where Sora, Donald, and Goofy, thank you, having a ellipses party. Sora threw his arms around Riku when he saw his friend was safe. Somehow, it all seemed very backwards.
That's because
That
it
is
was.
this series in this nutshell. Riku passed the exam. He had showed the mark of mastery, and so Yensid dubbed him a true
Keyblade.
master. Sora was happy to see his best friend receive such an honor. Lee, however, was still trying to get the knack of summoning his own.
Keyblade.
His ellipses, what? As if that weren't enough of a shock, suddenly a
Keyblade.
materialized in Lee's hand. We still don't understand that
No.
one. Was there anything shown?
No, there was
for him-
nothing. Nothing
So they
implying
literally-
he should ever become one.
So they literally were just like, let's just do it. And they were like, okay.
They probably should have had something in Birthplace Leap showing him
like,
getting one
Ben.
from one of the three main ones. Like, I think it would have to
Yeah.
be Ben, but
yeah, exactly.
since
Yet
Sora and Riku
become-
both sort of have Terras and Kairi has Aquas, so Ben is the only one left.
To be fair, Sora's is literally just, oh, well, the original wielder is evil. I'm going
Yeah.
to the other guy.
Although- which I still hate that stupid thing. Like, if you're gonna run with that logic, explain the Keyblade War.
At the very least, I could say that Ben's heart was in Sora's heart, so I can understand that sort of link existing. But that's
Yeah,
about
with
it.
that logic, that should have all gone away after Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, though. Anyways, he had become a
Keyblade.
wielder. Sora realized he had unfinished business. He opened the sleeping keyhole and ventured through alone. When he woke up in Traverse Town, he looked around for ellipses. There
Specifically
they were.
ellipses.
A moment later, Sora was surrounded by rowdy but very happy spirits. With a smile, Sora thanked them for all they had done. I'm curious, how long has the park gone on so far? 'Cause that was just
55 minutes!
Oh gosh.
Mind you, I think we had like an hour of fluff, a minute of fluff. No, not an hour, a minute of fluff I have to cut out. But still, that's just the story. Still have the glossary and the character files to go through. We might have to do this in another video. I'm gonna say cut it. I hate to, but we're almost an hour in.
Fair enough. You know, it's your call. I did give you the call.
So, there you go, watching. Next time, we're actually gonna finish this stupid thing off. See you all next time.
Yay!
Goodbye, all toasters, toast, toast.
Chicken tenders. See you guys next time.